probably need lights though. And you? Oh my god, how pissed would I have been if I had not realised that and filmed this whole video and then be like, oh, I didn't even have any lights on that whole time. That would have sucked. Look at your stupid chicken legs. Love it. Good job. Tiny pooch. So, hello chums. Back for another video. Was that a question or a statement? Should you turn off your inner editor? The concept of turning off your inner editor is at this point practically a NaNoWriMo motto, certainly a catchphrase, and it's definitely prevalent in the general writers community lexicon. It's almost a cliche at this point. But misunderstanding this idea kind of got me in a lot of trouble during my first NaNoWriMo rodeo. You've probably heard it by now, but I threw out over 60,000 words of my first 2 NaNoWriMos, so I'd like to not do that ever again. So what does turning off your inner editor actually mean? Should you do it? If so, when? Well, I think it's useful to think of this as just another tool in your toolbox. So we could probably amend it to turn off your inner editor when it's not useful. Obviously you need your inner editor at some point because you're going to be editing at some point. So when do you need it, when do you not? Let's find out. Here's what turning off your inner editor actually means to me. Don't let your inner editor, your inner voice of doom, your inner nitpicker hold you back. When your inner editor is stopping you moving forward, turn it off. When it's not useful, turn it off. You wouldn't have your empty blender just running while you're in the kitchen making a stew. Like, it's just a waste of energy, so turn it off. Here's when. You have an outline. I know, it's practically a cliche at this point. You know where your story's going and you know what has to happen in this scene, but you're having trouble actually writing it. So maybe you keep second guessing yourself, you're kind of hampered by doubts, or you're procrastinating, or for whatever reason, it feels like you're just chipping away tiny, tiny little pieces of your word count. This is when you should turn off your inner editor. If your inner editor is nitpicking over word choice and grammar and prose stuff, switch it off. The first draft is not the place to agonise over your prose. The first draft is where you beat out the bones of the story, so don't worry about making anything pretty before you're sure you have the substance down. The action, the dialogue, what's actually happening. Once you know that everything that has to happen has happened, then you can do a round of editing where you worry about making it a sparkling masterpiece of wordcraft. Here's where I went wrong. Turning off your inner editor doesn't mean write absolutely fucking anything. No outline, no characters built, no idea what has to happen in this scene or the next. Just write anyway, why not? Let's bring it back to, is this useful? No, of course not. You're just gonna have to fix all that wandering around and I don't know where this is going stuff that you wrote later. What's the point in writing a scene if you don't know if it belongs in your story? Now obviously this is a lot easier to tell when you know what belongs in a story and what doesn't. And if you don't, then you might want to do some more brushing up on your narrative knowledge. If you're unsure, you can check out my series How to Build a Story, where it breaks down all the elements of a story. But yeah, there is no point in writing a scene if you don't know if it belongs in your story. Ask me how I know. If you can create a protagonist and their motive and conflict and effects and endings all in your head without putting anything down on paper, congratulations, you're a genius. Have fun, rock your world, rock on, and have a good time. If not, you're probably one of the other 99.99999% of us who kind of have to figure things out beforehand. Really, it just boils down to this. Life is too short. Take it from someone who has spent at least 2.5 years on every book she's ever written. Life is too short to write things which don't belong in your book. If you know this belongs in your book, great. You can let it be as ugly as Christmas socks if that's what it takes to get it down on the page. But if your inner editor is telling you this is pointless, this doesn't belong in this story, you hush. You can't afford to ignore her. Who's got the time? So yeah, those are my thoughts on inner editors. I hope they're helpful, maybe enlightening for you. If you disagreed, and I imagine there will be some people who will, let me know in the comments below and we can have a nice little argument about it and it'll be a good time. As always, I'm Rachael Stephen, novelist, YouTuber, Woof and Tell Bitch. That was Elfie barking. Are you so angry? I am angry too at the world, but I do not take it out on you. Yeah, so have fun, happy noveling. If you liked this video, like it, because that's nice of you. If you're new, why don't you subscribe, because I said so and you like me, right? So this video is another in my series of videos for Preptober, which is a whole month of prepping for NaNoWriMo in October, and it's great fun. If you want to join in, you can find us on Twitter at prep_tober and join the mailing list and roll around in a big vat of pumpkin spice and quills. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Join us, we'd love to have you, and yeah, happy noveling, have a good time, stay safe, hydrate, look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And a whole series. If you have, that's what you have to do to get it written. Here's what. These lights are getting dimmer. How's it look? How's it look? I guess that's fine. Getting off your inner. I don't know why I sounded like a newsreader there.